I've just spent like, also it's going to be dark. I mean, the light's right here. I mean, it's sort of dark in this corner unless I open the curtains. But I've opened the curtains and you can see right outside. I don't want people want to see me walking on the treadmill. I've just spent like 45 minutes trying to set this up. This is one of the reasons why I sort of was hesitant about doing live streams, because basically I've got to do, I've got to use a different app. I can't just stream straight to YouTube because you need to have like 50 subscribers, I think, before you're able to stream directly to YouTube. So I've got to use Streamlabs, and I'm familiar with using Streamlabs and stuff like that, but for some reason when I was setting it up on my phone, I created a live stream ready to go on my computer, and then you go onto the phone and it says, continue scheduled event. So what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to pop up there, and then you click it and then you go boom, everything's there and all your settings, all your stuff's sorted. But for some reason it wasn't showing up. So also I'm a little bit disheveled, but I need to go and check quickly if making sure the live stream's okay. So I'll be back. Alright, I don't think there's anybody watching or anything like that, but it seems... Hello down here! It seems that I'm actually live. Okay, so got to set a few things up, got my water ready. I'm just going to do an hour session on cardio. Yeah, so it's going to be like a little bit dark in the corner, but... Oh, there goes my phone doodly-doot doing. What's that all about then? Oh, okay. So, it's been a while since I've live streamed on here, actually. But I was thinking, I mentioned it on my latest 2024 goal list. Weight loss stuff. So let me drink some water, because I haven't actually drank any water today. It's 12:30. Some cheap Elm Spring water. But yeah, I'm gonna just ramble on a bit whilst I start. Also, I keep forgetting, I don't look at myself, look at the camera. I've actually today, for the first time in a while, I'm actually going to increase the incline on my treadmill. So I've been going on 8 incline for a while, but my treadmill goes up to 10. So I'm actually going to try 9. Now also, I just need to get something else as well. I'll explain what in a sec. Ah! Oh, right. So I don't expect anybody to watch this, but yeah, so what I was just going to explain is I've got my watch here. Now I don't take my watch for gospel, as in like the amount of calories I burn and all that stuff, but I like it just as a general guide. And I noticed, so I've got this strap here, I've got a multiple, these sort of stretchy straps, which are nice and comfortable for like day-to-day use. But when it comes to actually on the treadmill, I've noticed, I wondered why sometimes the watch wouldn't pick up my heart rate. And I found out, I read up actually on so it's got a Fitbit, was it a Fitbit Sense 2 or something like that? Or something, is it a Sense 2? Whatever. Basically, I looked up on the Fitbit website that apparently if you use third-party straps, especially ones that are elasticated, what will happen is when your arm's moving, it disrupts basically the tautness of it, so it struggles to get a consistent reading of your heart rate. So what I did was I bought some like straps. So what I do is when I do my treadmill, is I just quickly swap the straps over, so I can get a more accurate reading on the old watch. Right. So without further ado, let's go. I've not actually eaten today. I've actually cooked food. I've prepared food already. Now let's get started here. I've prepared food already, I just haven't eaten yet. I just didn't really feel like eating before doing this today, when normally I would. Well, it depends how I feel. Yeah, so it took me a while to set this up. Unfortunately, like I said just previously, it sometimes doesn't show up. You create an event on YouTube. Okay, my cats are farting around, of course. As soon as I want to do stuff, it's time for the cats to mess around. So yeah, so it was supposed to show up an event. Oops, it was supposed to show up an event, but it didn't. So it took me longer than planned to set this up. Also, I have noticed just putting this up by 1 on the incline, you can feel the difference. It's crazy how just 1% incline can make a difference. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to become like a regular thing. I did mention in the video yesterday that I was gonna... Sorry, my cats have decided to do something. Give me a second. Okay, let's carry on. That's completely messed me up now. Basically, my cat's just decided... I've got one cat who's extremely irritating. I don't know if he's got some sort of attention deficit disorder or whatever. But as soon as I go to do something, as soon as I go to bed, he starts messing about. It doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I can sometimes during the day, if I feel a little bit tired, I go for a nap, he'll start messing around. It could be 3 o'clock, it could be 7 o'clock at night, it could be 1 o'clock in the morning, he'll start messing around. And now I've started doing this, and he literally just pulled down a cupboard in my living room. So that's completely threw me off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart, because it's threw me off. We're just going to restart that. Okay. I've got some advice. If you've got cats, or if you're thinking of getting cats or anything like that, don't let them be indoor cats, because they are a pain in the backside, to say the least. Anyway, what was I talking about? So, yeah, the stream took me a little bit longer to set up. That's what I was talking about when that video I made yesterday, talking about what I want to do in the future, and maybe do some live streams and that. And doing this is pretty fine, because I can literally just set up the camera, and then you can see me on the treadmill and I can talk. But when it comes to my weights machine is literally just there. But I've actually got my arm, so I'm next to my window right now. This is my window right here, these are my curtains. I've got the arm that's holding the phone on the, connected to the curtain pole. So I can put the camera here. There's nowhere else for me to attach it. I couldn't attach it onto my actual treadmill itself because it just wouldn't fit. The little attachment would fit, so yeah. So I've got it hanging from my curtain rail. But hopefully everything's alright with the stream. Yeah. I don't really know what to talk about because it's very difficult. Normally when I'm doing this, I just have I've got my tablet here, which I've got it again, and I just stick on some videos. Normally it's Greg Doucette video, just because I know a lot of people don't like Greg Doucette because of his voice or whatever, but for me, he's the advice that I've learned since I started watching him back in like February or something like that last year. The advice that he's given, and also the distraction, just putting videos on and watching him talk about, what is it, girls in the gym being weirdos when they record people and say they'll stare at them, stuff like that. Even just stuff like that, you know, 10-minute videos here and there, 15-minute videos. It makes the cardio, not that I don't enjoy doing the cardio, but it makes it, you know, go along smoother. But also the advice, a lot of things that he's talked about have made me reevaluate and look at things differently, and actually has helped in my ongoing success with weight loss. There's been many times in the past, and I spoke about it before, where I've tried weight loss at varying different, you know, stages in my life, whether it be need to lose a little bit of weight or whatever, and I've always, after a month or two, it's become very difficult. But for this time, it's been easier, if I'm honest. So yeah, normally I just stick on some videos, especially like if you put a 20-minute video on and then it's like right at the end, oh damn, I've gone 20 minutes already. So just pass the time. But yeah, it's difficult to know what to talk about when you've got nobody to go back and forth to. So now my cat is attacking the other cat. Don't know if you heard that. But he does it for some reason. They're both boys, and one of them's got this weird thing about when the other one goes to eat. You're probably going to hear it in a sec. Samson, leave him alone. He does this thing where he basically mounts him and does this awful screechy meow, and I hate it. And I don't know why he does it, because they've both been neutered, so I don't know why he does it. He tends to do it more often when he wakes up. He'll wake up and he'll make this certain meow. It's this certain noise. And I know straight away what he's doing, and I try and intercept it, but sometimes it's like in the middle of the night. So I would have let them out, but I live in a block of flats. A small, not a big massive block of flats. It's only like 3 stories, so ground, first floor and second floor. In a small, so he's doing it now. I don't know if you heard that, but that's Samson. But hold on, I'm gonna have to deal with that. See what I mean with this cat? This is why this cat Every single time, man. Every time, it's honestly, it's every time I go to do something, especially if I start talking. Sometimes as well. Hold on. It always happens as well. So say like if I go on, to play some games or whatever, and I go on like a chat, I stick my headphones on, and then like I go to talk to a friend or whatever, he'll start. He does it every time. I don't know what the hell's wrong with this cat, but it's getting to the point. I've had him now, he's nearly 3 years old. For the best part of, what, it'll be over 2 years now, he's been like this. And it's to the point where I'm going to have to seriously consider getting rid of him. I mean rehoming him. But the problem is, I would feel awful at just rehoming one of them, so I'd have to rehome both. Because they're both from the same litter. I've had them since they were kittens. So, I've had them since like June of 2021. So, I'd feel like I'd have to rehome them together. So, yeah, if you've got pets, if you ever think about having cats, yeah, that's what I was saying before. Okay, I remember. Let me just make sure my watch is, see, I'm all over the place now, because normally I like to get into the focus and the routine, and the fact that it's took me the best part of 45 minutes just to set this up, and then now this. It's been about an hour since it was over an hour ago that I was like, right, I'm going to start doing my my cardio now. So yeah, anyway, I live on the second floor, or the first floor, whichever you want to look at it. So there's a ground, first and second. I'm on the first floor, and it would have just been, I decided before I got them, it would have been too awkward to try and like, you know, normally if you've got cats, you can just open the back door, open the front door and let them out. Well, for me, I'd have to take them downstairs to the communal area, let them out, and then I'd have to be wary of, they say when your cat wants to come in, it will meow at the back door, right, or something. I can't be doing that when there's other people here. You know, there's like 6, in this one block of flats, there's 6 flats. So I don't want to disrupt anybody. So I made the decision before I got them that they'd have to be indoors. So, I mean, indoor cats, you can make any indoor cat, or most cats, indoor cats, because if they don't go out, they don't know anything else, do they? So, but if I could, I would, if I'm honest with you, I'd turn back time, and knowing what I know now, I'm not getting them, unfortunately. But I decided now I don't want to get rid of them, because even though one of them is extremely irritating, I've obviously become attached to them both. So, so yeah. But it isn't half frustrating, especially when he keeps you awake at night. As soon as I go to bed as well, he starts meowing, just constantly meowing. He could literally be asleep. I could go and lay down my bed right now, and he'd start meowing and playing up. He does certain things to get my attention. So he'll meow in this certain way, right in my face. Then he'll claw the headboard, and if I don't get a reaction from that, he'll jump in my window and start tapping the window. He'll like this, da, 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 da. And if that doesn't work, he'll go for the final killer blow, which is going to one of the doors and slamming the door, like thinging the door, and it rattles. Now I can't be having that, one, because it's annoying, and two, it's going to disrupt other people, because it's very loud when he does it, because it rattles the door. So he does that. I could do that right now. I could go and lie down and say I'm going to bed, and he will start acting up like that. It happened last night. I went to bed early last night, or relatively early for me, because I was pretty tired. Why was I tired? Because he woke me up, kept me up on the previous night. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, went to bed relatively early last night, and as soon as I went to lie down, he was actually asleep in the living room before I went to lay down. He'd not long been asleep, maybe 5 minutes. I was like, right, you know what? I'm not just going to force him. Sometimes I'm tired, but I just stay up for whatever reason. And it was probably about 9 o'clock, maybe. And yeah, as soon as I went to lie down, he starts. Again, this certain meow he does. And it's not like a meow, it's like it's almost like a moan. It's like a like that. Can't explain it. And it's so irritating. But he'll do it any time. I don't know he's got some sort of attention problem. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I've had some health issues recently. I didn't really talk about it in any of the videos I made. The reason why is because I didn't want to. You go down the route and you see people putting their YouTube thumbnails. I've got this wrong with me. Help me, or like, you know what I mean? Like they'll go, I've got a serious health condition. So basically, just before. I don't know if these two things are even related still. Yeah, I'm still waiting on. Actually, no, I'm not waiting. I got results today, but I was having just before Christmas. I was getting these really bad, like abdominal cramps and pains. Sort of like a bloating feeling as well, and to be blunt, a change in bowel movements. So first of all, I'm like, oh, okay. So I was diagnosed in the past, about 10 years ago, with IBS. So I did IBS flare-ups. So I was like, oh, okay, it's just IBS again, you know. But it kind of lasted and lasted to the point of, as of yesterday, it was still happening, but not as bad. So as you can imagine, it was about 6 weeks ago. So I got worried, and then just after New Year, I noticed, you can't really see it, but on my eyelid, I have, I developed like a white / peachy coloured mark on this eyelid. You can't really see it unless I really point it out. Now, I'd never noticed that before. And I was like, oh, that's weird, what's that? And I looked it up, and it mentioned something about cholesterol and things about triglycerides and stuff like that. Basically high cholesterol and stuff like that. Now, I was already aware that my cholesterol was high, because you can't be at one point over 430 pounds, 30 stone, and not have high cholesterol. So I knew that. Then obviously over the last year, that would have went down. But it was the patch on the eye. And then when I looked it up, it mentioned something about triglycerides, which I still don't fully understand what that is. It's something fatty stuff in your fat, I think, or something. I think it's fat in your blood. And then that did mention something about stomach pains. So I was like, oh, weird. So I read the doctor again. I mentioned to the doctor, I look for this patch on my eye. It's very, on my eyelid right here. You know, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, they took blood samples. And the other day there was 9 tests that they did for certain things. So they tested for things like high blood sugar levels. So, was it diabetes and stuff like that? My blood sugar levels are relatively low for someone of my size. Actually, he told me they're actually pretty good. They tested for all these thyroid, stuff like that. But then one came up as flagged for something. I was like, oh, what the hell? And this was on Friday. So I was like, oh God. So at that point, so I got the NHS app. I logged into the NHS and I saw it. And it said something had shown up. Contact the GP. But it didn't say what it was. And it didn't say anything that you need to contact the GP. So this was about, this record showed up on my, I think it was entered during the day, but it didn't actually show up on the app on my record. It was after midnight. So you can imagine, this was Thursday night, last Thursday night. So I suffer with anxiety. I have bad anxiety issues, and I've been worried about this. And then I see that 12 o'clock or whatever it was, Thursday night. I'm like, oh my God. So basically they were testing as well. So I had to take a stool sample as well, because they were going to test, they've tested for inflammatory bowel disease, which is not IBS, it's IBD, which is worse, because IBS is just an overactive, sometimes you get more spasms in your, it's just the thing that happens with some people. Sometimes it's brought on by certain types of food, but it also can be brought on by stress and anxiety. But IBD is a disease. They tested for that. They tested for celiac disease. They also tested for other stuff. But then the stool sample was for as well as colorectal cancer, which is obviously, you hear that and it's a scary thing, right? Now, as regards to the colorectal cancer, all the signs, the cramping, the pains were like, oh God. The only things was with that you get bleeding, which I didn't have and haven't had. You get sick, loss of appetite, none of that. The only thing I had that was the change in bowel movements and the pains. But because I see that, you get worried about it. Now I got this thing on Thursday night and I'm like, oh my God. So I ring up the doctors in the morning, first thing, to arrange an appointment. Now where I live, I don't know where it's like in other places, but it's very unlikely you're going to see an actual doctor. Now I've seen nurses to get blood taken, but see an actual doctor, you have to have a phone consultation now. So I speak to him. I speak to the receptionist saying, you know, something's flagged up. Told me to ring the doctor to speak to him, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there anxiously waiting. And sitting there. I just so happened to check my NHS app again, because I wanted to check on if anything else has changed. And it came up with, on the section of conditions. I was like, what? Conditions 1. And then it also said on the, I noticed that there's a message on there that said that they tried ringing me twice and left a voicemail. Now I have my phone right next to me, didn't ring. I checked the phone number on there on records, it's the correct number. So I rang them up. I was like, look, it says here, doctor tried ringing me, blah, blah, blah. But I can guarantee you that I haven't got a phone call, nor I checked my voicemail, just in case, you know, sometimes you maybe didn't have a signal. No, there's no voicemail, so whoever the doctor rang was not me. So they said, oh yeah, we'll put it on the system, they'll give you a call back. So I'm like, alright. So I noticed, I went back on the NHS thing and it said, conditions 1, significant. So I'm like, oh my God. And it came up with a word called dyslipidemia. I was like, what the hell's that? So I searched it up and apparently it was correct. So the triglycerides is to do with triglycerides, hence this mark on my eye. Now, up to this point, I thought this mark on my eye appeared over the last couple of weeks. Now, since yesterday, funnily enough, when I was making my latest YouTube video, I came across some old footage from like October, I think, of last year. It was a video I was going to make, but I didn't bother. And it was just some clip. Well, I did bother, but it was some outtakes basically, where like I would start and mess my words up and then, you know, start again or whatever. And lo and behold, even though it's quite difficult to see, I can see on this eye a light blemish. So it's been there since October, but for some reason, or at least October, for some reason, I didn't really notice it the other day, or just after Christmas. So I'm looking at this dyslipidemia thing, I thought, oh, what's it mean, blah, blah, blah. And there was more notes put on the system saying that it's a non-urgent text message has been sent to contact a doctor, even though I'd already contacted the doctor. Anyway, so I'm looking at like this dyslipidemia thing, what does it mean? And basically it's high triglycerides and high cholesterol. But it can be, I got a thing on there, it's called mixed dyslipidemia, where you have good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. My good cholesterol is just ever so slightly below what it's supposed to be. And my bad cholesterol, whatever the scale is, or the markings or whatever, 2 is the threshold, and mine was like 3.3, so higher. Obviously I don't know what that means, but obviously if it's higher, it's a bad thing. Also, I think the stream's lagging. Weird. Anyway, so I'm flaring off now because I'm worried now, man. I'm still waiting to hear from the doctor. Sitting around. I waited till 3:30 Friday. Rang back up again. I was like, oh, you know, I'm waiting for the doctor to ring me. It seems like something's showing up on my blood results. Maybe I should talk to him because it's Friday. I don't want to have to wait till Monday, especially if they want to give me some medication or something. Because I read up about they give people statins and stuff like that to lower cholesterol. So there's, oh yeah, the doctor's probably still making phone consultations. He'll get round to you, but I'll put another note on the system. So I'm like, oh, okay. Waiting. Of course, lo and behold, they'll ring me back. So I have the whole weekend to fret about it. And I was like fretting about it because I didn't know what it meant. And also, at this point, I didn't have the stool sample results back. So I'm fretting over this thing whole weekend. Anyway, it came to Monday, so yesterday, first thing 8:30 is when you can ring up to make an appointment. I ring up and say, look, I was supposed to have a phone call back Friday, never rang me, I need to speak to the doctor. Anyway, lo and behold, the doctor rang me back, and it was a different doctor this time. So I saw a doctor before, spoke to a doctor before, and he was quite rude. But this doctor was different, I've never spoken to him before. And he basically said that, so he wasn't aware of my recent weight loss. So he was saying to me, oh yeah, at the moment, it's not significantly high where the point where we need to put you on medication. It's not near that yet, but it's something that if it's prolonged over a certain period of time, like years, it can cause problems down the line. Things like heart failure and heart disease and all this stuff. So obviously, you don't want to do that. But he said, oh, you know, he was like, maybe consider lifestyle changes, like changing your eating habits, maybe stay away from deep fried food and takeaways. And I'm like, he says, oh, so what's your weight right now? And I was like, he said, what's your BMI? I said, well, I don't think you're aware, but over the last year, I've actually lost over 100 pounds. He said, oh, really? I said, yeah. I said, I've been on a weight loss journey and I completely changed my lifestyle and that a year ago now. He's like, oh, I didn't realize. He says, oh, okay, so we get on the right track then. I said, yeah. I said, also, I said, you know, if I would have had these tests a year ago, I'm assuming they'd be much worse. He said, oh yeah, they would be. So he was just like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's probably something you've had for a while, and it will gradually go down as you're losing weight. I was like, oh, okay. So it turns out not to be a big, massive thing, but the problem is I have anxiety, like an anxiety disorder, so I worry about it, but it still didn't. So basically he just said, keep doing what you're doing, keep losing the weight, it'll go down. Get your bloods tested again for this in a year, compare the results, right? So if I still continue at the rate I've been going, or even, you know, basically if I just continue losing weight, it'll naturally go down. Now I knew the cholesterol thing would be high. Like I said before, high cholesterol goes hand in hand with being obese or whatever, right? So I knew that. But it's this whole triglyceride thing, and now I've actually got a disorder, this is a disorder, which is dyslipidemia, but you can get rid of it. So I just continue what I'm doing, and it's, you know, obviously, but I've been still having the stomach problems. Now, I was told I had IBS years ago. I had a bout of stomach pains, cramps to the point where I couldn't stand up years ago, which was concerning. And they tested me back then, everything came back fine. And they said, oh, it's probably just IBS. And that lasted for like a week. Now I've had bouts of IBS as well since then, but it's never lasted more than maybe a day or two. But as you can imagine, with this lasting, today it doesn't feel that bad, but yesterday my stomach felt, it's hard to explain, it's like, it's not almost cramping, it's just a really discomfort in your whole, when I say stomach, by the way, I mean abdomen. And it's like this tense feeling and sometimes like stabbing pains, which is concerning. But the thing with IBS is, IBS can be caused or prolonged or aggravated by stress, and people with anxiety and depression are prone to get IBS. So I asked the doctor, is it the case of, I had these pains, then I saw this thing on my eye, which was already there but I didn't know, and basically, have I prolonged my IBS or the problems I'm having because I'm worried about it? So it's like, I've got the pains, the discomfort, and by the way, my diet, my eating habits haven't changed, I don't feel sick, nothing's changed besides the pains and sometimes a bit of irregular toilet, basically going to the toilet, but besides that, it's been nothing else. And I asked him, is it a case, could it be a case of, I get the pains, I worry about it. Worrying about it makes the pains worse, which in turn makes me worry about it. Vicious circle. And he said it sounds like it's that. Samson, leave him alone. This cat he's stalking you now like a piece of meat. He's doing it again. Samson. So yeah, so today It's a little bit of discomfort, but nothing crazy. Yeah, so the same, he says things like with IBS, to control it, it's changing your diet, but my diet hasn't changed in the months leading up to having the problem, so maybe now. Also, yeah, so I spoke to the doctor again this morning because I checked my NHS thing and it said, Neo, Samson. Sorry, he's doing it again. Samson! Bear with me, this is ridiculous. Sorry about that again, I know there's nobody watching, but this is so... I hate being stopped whilst doing my cardio. It feels like it puts me out of momentum. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So I noticed today, this morning, I checked the NHS thing and it said that my stool sample came back, and on there, nothing. Now that sample tests for things like bacteria, infections and blood in your stools, and there's nothing there, which rules out, as far as the stool sample goes, things like IBD, which is inflammatory bowel disease, celiac disease and colon cancer or colorectal cancer. So that's what I asked the doctor today. I was like, so what could be causing it, blah 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 blah. So yeah, so that's what's been happening with me over the last month. But yeah, as for these streams, I would like to make them regular. And I was saying in the video yesterday that I don't know whether to make like a Twitch channel dedicated to fitness. I do already have a Twitch channel that I stream sometimes on. I might be streaming on there later actually, playing some games. But I didn't want to blend the two, so to speak, so I don't really know what to do about that. I think for the time being, and maybe I will, I'm also thinking about doing a schedule, so like once a week, twice a week, whatever, say, right, just say Wednesdays at midday, 12 p.m. UK time, cardio, do an hour stream, and then maybe in time figure out a way I can incorporate showing like my weights and stuff like that. It's just difficult. I mean, I could keep it here, turn the camera over there, because my machine's just there, but it'd be too far away, and I don't know. I'm not really considering, but I've got plenty of time to think about it, I guess. Let me have some water here. So, but yeah. Whew. So this is me. Yeah, so I changed, by the way, the background isn't finished yet. I bought some, also I've noticed the gaps there, I think they shrank. Because when you get these foam things, they come vacuum sealed. And you can either just leave them to air expand, whatever, or you can put them in water, like spray them with a shower, let them dry. I think what's happened is I've put a couple up when they were still slightly damp and they've shrunk. So those little gaps are annoying there. But also it looks like it's wonky, but that's just because of the curtain. But yeah, so this was my gaming room before this. So when I used to do my videos, right here you can actually see some of the foam panels on the wall over there. That's where my PC was. And the wall here is where the background used to be for all the videos I used to do. But basically what I did is I moved my computer into my living room, because beforehand my living room was basically half living room. Sorry, it was about quarter living room, 3/4 gym equipment, because I had my treadmill in there, I had my weights machine and my bench in there, and like weights and stuff. And I was just getting a bit annoyed, I just didn't want to, I wanted my living room to be more like a living room. So I never used my living room. I just used to sit in here because I was on my computer. But I kind of wanted just to dedicate one room to like my gym stuff. So I bit the bullet. I think I already spoke about this before actually, but I bit the bullet, and it's very difficult, but I managed to change everything around. It was very difficult to do though. So now I've got this one room dedicated to gym stuff. So I'm in the little corner here, staring at a lovely wall. But like I say, normally I have my tablet right here and watch stuff as I'm going. But yeah. So yeah, the back wall here, I still need to get more soundproof stuff, just to dampen down the noise a little bit with the treadmill for like neighbours or whatever. But it's not that loud. I always feel like it's really loud, but these flats I live in are very well insulated, as in like sound and stuff. So like I never really hear anybody else. So so yeah. Whew. But yeah, I've got my fan on, got my fan down there. So yeah, it definitely makes a difference just putting this at 1%. But it's kind of funny because back in like May, even just as little as May of last year, because I never used to do cardio. I had the treadmill, but I couldn't walk properly. I was still that unhealthy and unfit. So I just gradually, I would walk on a flat for like, if I could, 5 minutes, and I'd be probably knackered after that. But over the time, I guess it's what they call progressive overload. And now I can walk. I remember months ago I put it up to the highest incline, which I'm 1 off now. Like I said, this goes up to 10, and I'm on 9. I remember trying it on 10, and I couldn't do it. I was like, oh my god, I have no idea. I was like, I'm never going to be able to get up to this. But gradually over time, I've just raised it and raised it. And yeah, it definitely makes a difference, even with just like the one number going up. Now I do normally still have it on like 3 miles an hour. And then if I feel like it, I'll just raise it as I'm going. But yeah, it's all good. It's like as well, I don't really need to train legs either. I actually started trying to train legs, but I was just doing body like squats and stuff like that, so body weight exercises, with me being the way I am. But to be honest with you, I don't really need to right now. Just doing this, and just, I'm gonna have naturally bigger sort of legs, just because of the weight I've been carrying around. If you think at one point, you know, even right now, 300 and, well, as far as I know, 319 pounds, roughly. I'm walking around carrying that every day, and I'm doing cardio, walking up a hill for an hour at least, and sometimes an hour and a half. Because what I'll do later on is, once I've done this, I'm going to grab something to eat, which I've already cooked. Probably need warming up by that time, but, and then a little later on, I'm going to hit the weights. And I've not hit the weights since last Wednesday. That's just because I've been having these stomach problems. Didn't feel really comfortable. I've been doing the treadmill still. Actually, no, that's a lie. I didn't do the treadmill for 3 days, actually. I did the treadmill for, no, actually no, 4 days. That's the longest I've gone without doing the treadmill. But was it Wednesday, Thursday? Yeah, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I didn't do the treadmill. But started up again yesterday. Ended up doing an hour and a half in total. Was gonna do my weights, but I was feeling quite tired. So I was like, you know what? I could probably take my pre-workout and power through it. But I thought there's don't need to do that. So I did an hour and a half on the treadmill in total. I had an hour during the day and 30 minutes last night. And then here we are today. I was supposed to be doing this a lot earlier. What time is it now? 1:15. 1:15. I was supposed to be doing this a lot earlier, but like I said at the start, I had problems with setting this up, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get more back stuff here for the whole back wall. Just quite expensive, this stuff. I mean, these panels here, I don't know how many is there. Is it 12? I think might be a few more. It's quite expensive, and I'd probably need another 3 packets, I think, to fit the whole wall. So you're talking like over £100, which is a lot of money for me. So it's not important, it's just stuff I'll get over time and I'll gradually put it up. The reason I got these ones, by the way, was because they were on sale at the time. So I was like, oh, I'll try them out. Then of course, they're not on sale anymore. I think it was the Black Friday sales, so yeah. But yeah, I was thinking about making this a little bit more regular thing. Also, I just realised how beardy I am right now. I look a bit homelessy. I just need to. I stink as well, by the way. I'll get a good shower later on. I went out of the shower this morning when I woke up. I'm not like dirty or anything like that. I just need a shower. But like I said, my plan was to get up and get on this treadmill, but it was delayed by at least nearly an hour because of setting this up. So, but yeah, I'm glad now I've got an area. What I'll do is in the future, I can just, with the way it's set up, I think it's ideal where it is. I don't think it needs to be. Okay, now it's at an angle. Hold on, I shouldn't have messed with it. Just leave it where it is. I think it's at a decent size, and obviously there's nobody watching, so at this moment in time it doesn't really matter. But who knows? If anybody comes in and maybe someone's doing cardio as well, or someone just wants to sit and say hello or whatever. I know it's not exactly exciting to watch an overweight 34-year-old man just ramble on whilst walking on a treadmill for an hour, but yeah, I thought I'd just test it. And like I say, this is not the first time I've treadmilled it up or live streamed it, so so now we're at the point where I have no idea what to talk about. I will say that I'm starting to get hungry. I have not eaten today, besides the little bit of the food that I made. I tasted it. I just threw together some random stuff. So I had some minced turkey meat, fried that up, put a bit of seasoning on it. I put in some tomatoes, that's pureed tomato with garlic. And then I put some hot sauce. I like a bit of hot sauce, so I put a bit of, it's random, but I'm just throwing stuff together. Bit of hot sauce, mix it in. I also got some, I'd normally throw in a few like red onions, but I had none. So I threw in some spinach leaves, put it all together, and then cooked it. And then I added rice, a bit of rice, mixed it all up, and I've left it just to sort of settle. And then there's probably about 2 portions in there, so I'll have one once I've done with this, and then later on this evening I can finish it off. Calories wise, there's probably, in the whole thing, there's like 350 calories in the rice. The mince itself was 500 calories, is it 500 calories, something like that? And then, I also put garden peas in as well, so almost 100 calories. Maybe 1,100 calories for the whole lot. But it's 2 meals, so that's pretty decent. Is it 1,100 calories? Something like that, roughly. Which is good. Very high protein, obviously, because it was like 500 grams of minced turkey. So actually it's probably more than 1100. Anyway, it's 100, apparently it was 140 calories per 100 grams of mincemeat. So it's probably 700 calories actually, minus some of the fat that comes out of it, but it was lean meat, so there's not much in it, like fat wise. Then you got the tomatoes, are about 100 calories. Then the rice. Okay, let's say probably about 1200 calories, let's say. Something like that. But I'll eat that today, so I'll have some now, some later. And then I'll throw in, depends how hungry I am, just because I'm going to be doing my weights later on, so naturally I'll probably be a bit more hungry. So I may throw in, I'll probably throw in a protein shake, or a protein drink that I've got. I've also got fruits and stuff. So I've got protein bars and whatever, and I've also got protein meals, ready meals made. So I'm all good. Still on those My Protein meals that I mentioned a while back. It's extremely good. That's what's helped me along the best part of it. Well, over a year now. But I kind of wanted to throw in other stuff. I enjoy the My Protein meals, don't get me wrong, they're very good. But I wanted to throw in other stuff. I was missing things like, I like baked potatoes and mashed potatoes and stuff like that. And now I understand a lot more about, you know, the calorie side and finding low fat and low calorie alternatives to stuff. For example, if you have ketchup. I don't really have ketchup. Let's say I can get like My Protein pizza. I may put a bit of ketchup on it. I just get the low reduced sugar, reduced salt, whatever it is, naturally low in calories. Cheese. My Protein has cheese, grated cheese. It tastes good. There's also this brand called Arla, and they have this brand called Bob, B-O-B. Sounds weird, but they have really nice low calorie cheese. And they also have this low calorie, high protein milk, which I bought. Now, I don't really drink milk anymore, but with this, I think for 500 milliliters, it's like 200 calories, something like that, and like loads of protein. So if I do fancy a nice drink of milk, there's your protein and your low calories. So, but yeah, so I fancy making different things, and I've been missing things like potatoes. I've ate a lot over the last year. I've ate a lot of like, because a lot of those My Protein ready meals, they are like peri-peri chicken with rice, or it's what is it? There's like a meat feast sort of thing you can get with like chicken meatballs in it and that's with pasta. And then you've got Singapore noodles, teriyaki noodles. So there's a lot of pasta and rice-based stuff. So I just really fancied potato. So I bought some jacket potatoes, and I also bought some mashed potatoes. Now the mashed potato, the ready-made mashed potato, is actually quite calorie-wise to what you get. It's quite high, but it's only a one-off. It's not as if I'm in a calorie surplus when I do it. So like the other day, I had a couple of chicken breasts with some mashed potato, and then I drizzled over some, might sound weird, but just a bit of sauce. I drizzled over some garlic peri-peri sauce, just a little bit. Look, it's hardly any calories in the whole. I've got like a 500 ml jar of it, and there's like 200 calories in the whole jar or something like that. So just sprinkle a bit over the top, gives it a bit of extra flavour. So it's all about stuff like that, really. But yeah, I'm definitely working up this hunger now. What are we at? 42 minutes. Apparently my heart rate's 146. Yeah. 42 minutes, so about 18 minutes. How many steps am I up there? I'm actually spot on for steps. Yesterday I was quite sluggish in my walking, just because I was so tired. I actually had an energy drink as well. And when I do drink energy drinks, it's not like Red Bull. I drink this thing called G Fuel, which I've had today as well. G Fuel is like a gamer drink. If you're into games, you'll know what G Fuel is. And it's, you know, no calorie, no sugar, caffeine drink, and they're pretty nice. So sometimes I have one of those just to give me a bit of a pick-me-up. And yesterday I had one, but no, it didn't do anything for me. If anything, it made me feel more tired, weirdly enough. So when I did my treadmill yesterday, this same again hour, I was like, oh man, it was a slog. I was walking, basically put it this way, when I walk an hour, it's normally around 6,000 steps, give or take 100. Well, yesterday when I got to the hour, I was at 5,400 something steps, so I was a little bit behind, which is fine. I just walked for an extra 5 minutes, got to the 6,000 steps basically, and then I actually went for a nap in the afternoon for like an hour, got up, still felt really tired, had something to eat, and then at night time I was like, you know what, I was at around 7,000 odd steps for the day. I was like, you know what, I was at 7,100 steps, something like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna jump on the treadmill, 30 minutes, roughly around 3,000 steps. Got to 30 minutes, and I was actually feeling like I could do more, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to. So I ended up getting to the old 10,000 steps. It's kind of crazy. This time last year I was probably barely doing 500 maybe. Couldn't walk. When I say I couldn't walk, it's embarrassing, but I would walk from one room to the other and I'd be out of breath. I was that unfit. And I've said before, but I used to be a smoker. I've not smoked for, must be over 3 years now, something like that. If I was still a smoker, man, I would not have liked to have known what state I would have been even more last year. So yeah, luckily I'll tell you a story about that. If anybody watches this after the fact, if anybody does watch this after the fact, feel free to subscribe. If you want to follow me on, I'm going to try and make these a little bit more regular. But yeah, so I used to smoke. I became a habit smoker where it was just like, might as well have one. I used to smoke roll-ups. It's a disgusting habit. I'm not mocking anybody, or someone's at my door, which is probably someone have an Amazon delivery and they can't get in, because I'm not expecting anybody, so we'll ignore that. Yeah, normally I have people buzzing my door, so we have the buzzers. If someone can't get in, or they're trying to get somebody who's got an Amazon delivery and they answer the door, they'll just buzz all the doors to see if somebody answers so they can get in. I'm not expecting anybody, so, but yeah, so my story around smoking. What I was saying was, I'm not trying to be one of those people that's because they've stopped smoking, they look down on people who do smoke. If you smoke, whatever. Which is, I think, it's just a horrible habit, especially somebody who's used to do it. But I started, well, it's actually been longer since I actually smoked an actual cigarette. I didn't smoke drugs or anything like that, or weed. Never been into that. It was just tobacco. I say just tobacco, it's bad enough, but you know what I mean. And it's probably been longer than that since I actually smoked, because I started using a vape pen, because I don't know, so it was healthier to inhale vapors than it was to inhale cigarette smoke. But there was one, so I used to get the vapor, or the refills from a certain place. Now there was a time where I couldn't get them or something like that, so I ended up ordering one off Amazon. Now I didn't realise that Amazon were allowed to sell products that had tobacco in them. Oh, sorry, not tobacco, nicotine. So I bought this liquid, which was just a nicotineless liquid. So I used that, and I was like, oh, kind of feels a bit different, but because normally you get like the nicotine sort of hit, I guess. But I was like, oh, it feels a bit weird, but I was like, oh, I didn't really think about it. So after a while, I just started using it less and less, not realising, until I stopped using it. I was like, oh, I haven't used it. So when I would use it, it was because I remembered that I hadn't used it. It became a habit. It was just like, oh, I might as well use it. And then I realised that the liquid I got a month before, or whatever it was nicotineless. So I accidentally weaned myself off nicotine. So I was like, well, I don't need this anymore, and I haven't touched it since. I've still got it actually, I don't know why, it's put in a drawer somewhere I think, but I've never used it since. Not touched a cigarette or a vape thing since. So yeah, I accidentally weaned myself off nicotine. Now, I couldn't think of anything worse right now than smoking a cigarette. But I will say, I guess I am a smoker because I smoked for several years, like on and off for the best part of 10 years, I think. There was a couple of times there where I stopped because there was this medication you could take at once, which would stop you from wanting nicotine or something. I think I did that twice. So in that 10-year period, there's probably maybe three and a bit years, 4 years where I didn't smoke, here and give and take. But for the best part of 10 years. So yeah, it's like when you get an alcoholic, right? If you're an alcoholic, you can't really say you'll never drink again, even though you shouldn't, you know. So I'll never say I will never do it again, but I really hope I don't. But it's right, I've got no intentions to do so. So, especially now, with this whole fitness thing, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now if I was still smoking, let's put it that way. So there's my story of accidentally weaning myself off nicotine. Which is a good thing. I know a lot of people struggle to stop, so I'm not thinking it, but the thing is, like, yeah, I don't miss the days waking up with pains in my chest and phlegm and the smell, because you don't even realize it, but I obviously notice it now when I can smell cigarettes really strong now if somebody else is, you know, smoking one. But yeah, it gets stuck to your clothes, and you know what I mean. So it's not a nice habit to have at all. But yeah, I became more of a habit smoker. It would just be, oh, it's been like 45 minutes since I've had one. Oh, I'll have another one then, something like that. And sometimes I just smoke cigarettes just for the sake of it. But obviously I was still dependent on the nicotine. You can't just casually smoke and still not your body be depending on the nicotine. I don't believe so anyway. So, but also, if anybody does watch this and they've seen my recent videos, I'm wearing glasses now. I'm not wearing glasses right now, obviously. Invisible glasses. No. But I went just before Christmas to have my eyes tested. I've not had my eyes tested since 2008. I was 19. Well, actually, no, I think I would have been, no, I was 19, yeah. Just turned 19 the last time I had my eyes tested. But I noticed my vision, especially at a distance, I could still read stuff, but like, only because I knew what the word was, or the letters were, or whatever. It was slightly blurry, so that, you know what, it's about time I get my eyes tested. So I got it done, and they were like, oh yeah, you need a small prescription. Because when they were doing it, and they goes, oh, what about now? And I was like, oh yeah, I can see that clearly. So I assumed that was without a prescription. And they're like, oh no, this is what it's like without the lens on. And I was like, oh my god. It was like going from 720p to 4K, or 2K maybe. 720p to 1440p, there you go. So I was like, okay. So I ordered some glasses and I went and got them 2 weeks ago today, yeah. So I was using them, been just trying to get used to wearing them. They say I don't have to wear them all the time, but they definitely do help. But I'm not going to wear them when I'm doing the treadmill, because you can't really tell right now, but I am kind of sweaty. I do have the fan on, so it is cooling me down a bit. But I normally don't wear a vest. If I'm on my own, I just walk with my shorts. I've got my shorts and my trainers on. But I thought, just in case, I would do this with the vest on. I thought it looked a bit more presentable than just seeing my bare chest. So, whew. But yeah, I'm ready to eat once I've had done this. That's for sure. Now I don't normally like doing the treadmill and eating straight afterwards. I have got into a habit recently of eating before the treadmill. There was a time where, for a little period, where I would get up, use the bathroom, whatever, throw some water on my face, grab my water, put my shoes on, everything, trainers on, and just go on the treadmill. And I could do that for a while. But then it just changed for whatever reason, where like I would wake up and I wouldn't really feel like energetic enough to do it. So I would wait until I'd eaten. Today, I wasn't really feeling that hungry when I got up, so, and I felt pretty decent, especially when I've had these stomach problems. I was like, yeah, I'm determined, and I thought, because I mentioned it in the yesterday's video that I made, that maybe I'd start live streaming. I thought, let's give it a go. But yeah, but I'm hungry now. I'm just glad that I've actually pre-made some food so I can go and heat it up once I'm done. Where are we at? Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm just trying to see how many. I know I've been live for 1 hour and 6 minutes, but there was a few stoppages. 54 minutes. Yeah, 54 minutes. So just over 5 minutes to go. It's gone pretty well considering I've just been rambling on basically to myself for over an hour. So but in future, what I might do is start dedicating maybe a day or 2 a week to this, and just get on, and then when I do my cardio, just jump on here, as long as I can set it up properly, and as long as the yeah, as I said before, I can't directly stream to YouTube from my phone, because you need 50 subscribers at least. So either 50 or 100, I can't remember, and I'm nowhere near that, so I have to stream through Streamlabs. And yeah, connect to my account and everything like that, and I created a live event on my YouTube channel, but it just wasn't showing up on the app. So I had to go live from my phone by creating an event from my phone, directly from my phone. The reason why I could just do it directly from my phone, but you can't change the thumbnail, you can't change the audience, you can't change tags and all that stuff. So on my PC I can set all that up. That's why I was like, set up my PC and then I can find it on my phone and go live. So hopefully in future I won't have the same issue. Hopefully next time it'll be as smooth as, right, I'm gonna go live, set up an event, put my phone here, boop, live, and off we go. I also don't understand, maybe it's a premium thing or whatever, because I don't. So with Streamlabs you can have the basic free version, which just does everything you need, but if you have like the premium edition you can get like extra benefits. Now on the settings I've got it so it's 60 FPS, it's supposed to be 60 FPS, but as I can see right now it only goes to 30 FPS for whatever reason. So I don't know if that's like oh, you need to buy the premium to have 60 FPS, even though on the settings I have it at 60 FPS, 1080p. So, oh man, I stink. I'll get a good shower later on. I'll stink it up a little bit for the next couple of hours, and then I'll get on the weights this evening. Probably give it a couple of hours before I get on the weights. So my plan today was normally, so when it's weights day or gym work day, if you want to call it lifting day, I would do my hour on the cardio, wait a little while, a couple of hours, then I'd do 5-10 minutes on the cardio again, treadmill warm up, and then hit the weights. My plan today was to get up and have something to eat, have my pre-workout, do my hour cardio, and go into my weights directly afterwards. But because I decided I wasn't really that hungry, and then I had issues with setting this up, everything got pushed back, and now I haven't eaten, so I'm hungry. I don't really want to. I've not had a pre-workout. I had the energy drink, but that's not my pre-workout. And I don't think it's a good idea on an empty stomach. Some people can work out on an empty stomach, and I tried it in the past. It doesn't work for me. So, because I used to be in the belief like, oh, if you do fasted cardio, if you do workouts on empty stomach, you burn more calories. No, it doesn't matter. I believe it doesn't matter anyway. So, right, we're at a minute left, and I'm on pace with my steps for the hour. Like I say, the watch, I know it's not 100%, I know it's not the gospel, and it's not 100% accurate, but it gives a estimate, which is good enough for me, and it gives me something to track. So, yeah, I'm glad that I've increased the intensity of this now. So I've got to remember that now I have it on the number 9 on the settings. I only turned up the speed by 0.1, which doesn't sound a lot, but because I'm on an higher incline, my natural walking is making it faster as well. Because I'm actually pushing it as well. I can stop the treadmill and push the walk on the treadmill, not like this obviously, but so there's my natural momentum that's also pushing it. So yeah, so there's that. Sorry, I just went really out of breath all of a sudden. Right, I'm at an hour, but I've got 15 steps according to this to get to 6,000. So I'm going to stop in a moment. There we go. One good thing as well I've noticed about me over the last couple of months is my recovery is much better. So like my heart rate right now, according to this, so what's the watch say? Yeah, done. So my watch is telling me right now that my heart rate, once it catches up, 150 BPM right now according to this. Yeah, that's about right. But my heart rate doesn't go back to resting that quick, but my resting heart rate depends day to day, but sometimes it's like 70. So yeah, it takes a little while, but it does go down much quicker than it ever used to. To be honest with you, I could probably used to walk on a flat for a minute and it would get up to 100 odd. My watch is vibrating at me. What are you telling me? Oh, 150 zone minutes, which apparently 150 minutes in zone 2, whatever, zone 2 cardio a week is enough. I'm on 150 in 2 days. So that's good. It's a good start to the week. But I do need to lift weights later on. I've not done it since last Wednesday. I don't know if I can show. Yes, cat. What? This cat's a pain, man. What? What? Come here. Oh, come here. It's a pain. This is the pain right here. Here he is. Look. This is Samson. You're the pain in the backside. This is the one that mounts his brother. This is the one that keeps me up at night. Now he's a big fluffy soft cutie kitten, but he is a nightmare. He's like that really, I always say he's like that really, you know, you're at school, you're that really pretty girl that everybody fancies, but like she's horrible, and she's a horrible person. This is what Samson is. He's very pretty and fluffy, but he ain't half annoying. He's dribbling. You dribble him. I know what's wrong with him. He doesn't want food or anything like that. He's had food. He just trust me, he just seeks attention all the time, and I'm with him all the time. You'd think he'd get sick of me, because boy, I get sick of him. He likes his belly rub, don't you? Doesn't look like it right now, but he does. One. Right. So I'm gonna close this. I'll probably end the stream now, I guess. It's an hour and 15-minute stream. If anybody does watch this, by the way, I did notice somebody did come into the stream and just left, which is fine. if anybody does watch this, feel free to follow along on the old weight loss journey. We're about, well, I don't know how long, I said before, I don't know how far I'm into my weight loss journey. I don't know what my goal is, obviously, to get to a normal weight or whatever that means. But we're nowhere near there yet, so I've still got a long way to go, obviously. But if you want to follow along, subscribe. And yeah, I'm going to basically, I've got an Instagram as well. Should be linked in the description of this live stream. Yeah, I'm going to try and make these more regular, I think. Maybe like designate, so just so if anybody does want to watch and does want to come along, if I like have a schedule, so designate maybe one, I've said this before, but if I designate maybe 1 or 2 days a week, say, oh, at this time, 1 o'clock, I'll be live doing cardio. People know if you know, if they want to come along, they can come along, I guess. But I'm going to go. I need to eat and just relax a little bit. And I'm just checking my heart rate now. So it's approaching 100 now. So, God, it's so dark in this corner. You can see that thing on my eye, look. So if I zoom in, sorry for the, if you look right here, that it's a collective deposit of something. So that's what concerned me. But anyway, I'm gonna go. If anyone watched this, thanks for watching. Leave a like and follow me along. Like I say, with the journey, I'm gonna try and make these a little bit more regular. And hopefully throw in some weight stuff as well. I could probably just show right now. Hold on. I know there's nobody watching, so, but just in case anybody does find this later on. So this is my old room. There's my bench. I don't really use anymore because I used to do bench press, but I don't bother now. And there's my machine. So this is my old room. My computer used to be there. So anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.